You were the best graduating student, yes or no?
Yes.
Fine. What do you have to show for it?
Scam. Whoever started reunion started it to monitor people's progress after school. I just want to boost my confidence.
Ah! You can actually let me follow my come upstairs.
Yes, what? Very true.
Sorry.
Hello.
So,
no, I can hear the song.
Okay. Oh, yeah,
yes, I can hear you clearly now.
Clearly now. Okay. Good to have you, Akinola Akanwo. Segbowe. Segbowe. Segbolala. Èèyàn kata yeyanju ẹ. Junior. Adun. Akilapa, yes. Akilapa. Mi ò mọ̀ bóyá wákàtí kan la máa lò àbí wákàtí kan àbọ̀, and it all depends on you. It all depends on you. This show is going on live. Mi mọ̀ bóyá wákàtí kan la máa lò. I don't know if we are going to spend 1 hour together, or 1.5 hours, but it all depends on you. It depends on how satisfactorily you can give me answers to my questions, right? All right. Yes. A fẹ́ mọ̀ Akinola Akanwo. Akinola Akanwo, níbo la Akinola Akanwo ti wá?
Orúkọ mi ni Akinola Akanwo, táwọn kan máa ń pè ní Segbowe. Mo jẹ́ ọmọ bíbí ìlú Ọ̀ṣun State ní Ìwó gangan. Ọmọ Ìwó bàbá mi, ìyá mi jẹ́ ọmọ Iléṣà, Ìjẹ̀ṣà. Pọ́nbélé ni yèyé tó bí mi lọ́mọ.
So you are from Iwo, you are from Ìjẹ̀ṣà, so you are from Ìjẹ̀wó, right?
Ìjẹ̀ṣà.
Ìwó Ìjẹ̀ṣà. Ìwó Ìjẹ̀ṣà. Ṣé o máa ń lọ sí Ìwó? Ṣé o máa ń lọ sí ilẹ̀ Ìjẹ̀ṣà?
In fact, mo ń lọ sí Ìwó, mo ń lọ sí Ìjẹ̀ṣà. Recently, mo ṣe film kan tó jẹ́ pé mo try láti portray a part of Ìwó, and nígbà tí mo ń ṣe movie tour, tí mo ń ṣe cinema tour, mo make sure pé mo dé Iléṣà.
Okay.
Ní cinema tó wà ní Iléṣà, just to visit.
That's Tim said,
yeah, Tim said cinema. So mo lè sọ pé mo máa ń lọ sí Ìwó, mo máa ń lọ sí Iléṣà.
But as ọmọ Ìwó, as ọmọ Ìjẹ̀ṣà, mo sure pé wọn ò bí Segbowe sí Ìwó, wọn dẹ̀ bí Segbowe sí Iléṣà.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ìlú Ìbàdàn ni wọ́n forí mi sọlẹ̀ sí.
So Segbowe for governor. Segbowe for governor. Ọ̀yọ́ State governor. 2027.
Ibẹ̀ náà mo dàgbà sí.
Àdúgbò wo ní Ìbàdàn?
Àdúgbò tá a gbé pọ̀ o. Kíní gangan ni wọ́n bí mi sí ṣáìdì Ìwó road yẹn. Mo ti gbàgbé orúkọ tó ń pè bẹ̀ nísìn. Àmọ́ mo gbé gbogbo mọ́nà tán bẹ̀rẹ̀ Ìwó road. Mo lè sọ pé Ìwó road náà mo gbé dàgbà.
Okay. Bẹ̀rẹ̀ mọ́nà tán
Ìyànà Church.
Ìwó road. Ìyànà Church. Okay, àwọn axis yẹn. Ǹjẹ́ ajá ti rí lára àwọn tẹ́ ẹjọ́ gbé ládùúgbò rí tí wọ́n wá padà rí ẹ bí àná múvì tí wọ́n wá rántí pé a mọ́ ọmọ yìí ládùúgbò ǹjẹ́ ó ṣẹlẹ̀ rí?
Dáadáa, ó pọ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ṣé ààrẹ tó sọ gbà pé mo ti sọ náà pé ọmọ yìí tí ò bá ya onífíìmù á máa ṣe nǹkan kan tó jọ?
Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọn ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹ mọ̀ pé wọ́n ní ọmọ tó bá máa já ṣàmù àti kékeré ló ti máa ń ṣẹnu ṣámúṣámú.
Jẹ́ ká wá wo kékeré tó ti ń ṣe ṣámúṣámú yẹn, kí ni nǹkan tó máa ń ṣe ní gẹ́gẹ́ báwo ni kékeré ẹ̀ ṣe rí gan tó fi lè sọ pé ó ti ń ṣẹnu ṣámúṣámú láti kékeré?
Mo fẹ́ràn kí n máa play ball. Mo máa ń play ball, a máa ń ṣe ojúlé dójúlé, a máa lọ gbá ní àwọn àdúgbò sádùúgbò. Nígbà yẹn tí àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ mi bá wá pè mí gbà mí pé kí n jẹ́ ká lọ gbá ball, script lèmi máa ń sábà kọ. Wọ́n máa kọ sínú exercise book. Wọ́n máa ní èwo ló ń kọ yìí. Àní mo ṣáà ń kọ ni. Àwọn ìtàn mo kàn ń rò lórí, mo ń kọ sílẹ̀. Then nígbà yẹn náà, bí kó jẹ́ pé inú drama department lẹ ti máa rí mi, bóyá ní school àbí ní church, ká ṣe drama minister, even while I was very, very young. so àti ìgbà yẹn náà ni mo mọ̀ pé àwọn tó yí mi ká ńgbà yẹn lọ́ ti máa ń wò pé so kò jẹ́ tuntun sẹ́lòmíì nísìnyí pé iṣẹ́ tọmọ yìí tó eventually yàn láàyò nìyí.
So láti kékeré ni idea ká máa kọ story, irú àwọn stories wo ṣé bí story àlọ́ àti ìjàpá àbí irú àwọn stories wo precisely?
Basically just stories about life. Èmi máa ń kọ́ bí ìgbà tí mò ń kọ́ fíìmù ni because nígbà yẹn mo náà fojúsùn pé tí bá ti dàgbà tí bá ti join acting tí mo ti wá tẹ̀lé àwọn owó kan jọ màá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí máa produce. So mo máa ń kọ́ bí ìgbà tí mò ń kọ́.
Bí age wo ni ẹ? Bí age wo?
I can remember vividly that I started writing pé mo gbìyànjú àti mú pen, gègé àti paper pé mo fẹ́ fi kọ script rárá. I started in 2005 ni mo rántí dáadáa. Mo ti dàgbà nígbà yẹn. 2005 ni mo rántí pé mo mú ìwé pé mo fẹ́ kọ story. But a ti máa ń ṣe àwọn jọ́tà tá a máa kọ kéékèèké nígbà yẹn tá a máa sọ odidi exercise book di jọ́tà tá a máa yá sí méjìlá a máa gé láàrin a máa fi kọ àwọn story kéékèèké but mi ò rántí gbogbo àwọn ìgbà yẹn but mo sì máa ń ra àwọn òwe yẹn lé gbà mí. Ìyẹn while I was in primary school.
Before 2005. Before 2005, àwọn actors wo ló la lè sọ pé ó jẹ́ influence nígbà míì irú èmi nísìn mo lè sọ pé àwọn olórin kan wà tó pé tí wọ́n ti ń wò wọ́n gbà yẹn èmi náà lọ mú àwọn touch oní irin ẹ̀ màmá máìmù orin wọn nítorí pé orin wọn ti ó wọ̀ mí lára èmi náà fẹ́ dàbí tiwọn mo fẹ́ dàbí Michael Cree mo fẹ́ dàbí àwọn olórin jùjú ta nígbà yẹn so àwọn artist wo ni Segbowe máa lálàá pé kémi náà kàn tẹ̀ máa ṣe báyìí.
Ó funny gan àwọn artist tí mo máa ń wò pé mo fẹ́ ṣe bí wọn Jackie Chan, actor Jackie Chan, Will Smith, and most importantly Tyler Perry. Leni, Tyler Perry has been my role model right from the onset, and then Will Smith, you know, on the acting part, Jackie Chan in the acting part.
Okay. So, ní Nigeria ńkọ́?
Okay.
Ní Nigeria ńkọ́?
Àwọn àgbà tá máa ń wò ńgbà yẹn gbogbo ìgbà tí wọ́n máa ń wo àrélù ńgbà yẹn àwọn àṣìkéré ńgbà yẹn gan. In fact, sometimes ilé onílé la ti máa lọ jíwò ìkàlọ́mẹ́jọ àwọn films bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn la máa lọ wò ńgbà yẹn. But mo lè sọ pé vividly àwọn tí mo mú níbí àwọn tí mo máa ń rí pé these persons are really good at what they do. Àwọn méjì lọ́kùnrin gbogbo wọn ni mo gbóríyìn fún ọ ṣùgbọ́n àwọn méjì kan wà lọ́kùnrin tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n dá yàtọ̀ lójú mi tí mi ò lè kọyán wọn kéré rárá. Àwọn náà ni Ibrahim Chatta àti Gabriel Afolayan. I'm madly in love with them and I respect their craft so much. I respect others too.
What does Ibrahim Chatta have that endeared you to him?
I feel he's a bundle of talent. He plays his role extremely well. When he's given a role, he wears the role. He is that role, not Ibrahim Chatta. And the fact that he's a Nupe man and is so much is a dictionary of Yoruba culture. And the fact that he could chant, he could do stuff is my best cultural actor when it comes to
a chanter.
He chants, he can practically eulogize any part of any tribe.
Okay.
And I feel that he tries to learn. Learn. Because I understand that he is not so he didn't really people say he's not educated, but I feel he's
people
educated.
Say Ibrahim Chatta did not attend the four walls of his school. Maybe that's a better expression.
Yeah, one man sọ pé is not educated, but one man sọ pé were educated, because education is not only within the four walls of a school.
Four walls of a school,
so I like the fact that he takes himself through that process of learning. And if you speak with him, you will know that this man is deep, is sound. Talk about religion, talk about culture, talk about even the contemporary things happening around. He's very knowledgeable.
Ìgbà wo lẹ kọ́kọ́ pàdé? Iṣẹ́ ti pa yín pọ̀ rí?
Iṣẹ́ ti pa wá pọ̀ rí. The first time tá a pàdé was in Ọ̀yọ́ town, but I wasn't popular then. I wasn't really known then.
That was around when?
That was in around 2016 or so. 2016. It was a movie produced by Uncle Yomi Olonlolaye. He invited me. They invited me for that role. Bobby Brown invited me for a role, and I played his friend.
Okay.
I played his friend, and
so were you intimidated? Were you intimidated, with his presence, given the fact that you've always adored him?
No, I wasn't. And I would say that I think he made it easy because he was just himself. He was just an actor on that set, so he didn't really, and relating with him because I was his friend. I don't kidnap or character kidnap and all that. So, but I wasn't starstruck. Funny enough. Maybe much after that, I was starstruck the day he called me by my name and told me I was one of his favorite actors.
Oh, he told you that?
Day, he told me eventually when he didn't notice me that day. We just acted, on that set. It was just normal. I didn't even tell him how I was feeling about him then. So eventually later, years after, àwọn kan ti máa ń sọ fún mi pé Ibrahim like ẹ gan, ó máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ gan pé Segbowe àkànlá yẹn. In fact, someone secretly recorded a video of him talking about me.
Okay.
He was planning a production, and he was saying ọmọ kan tó wà ń bàdàn yẹn, ọmọ Alalu, he prays when he's talking about people and all that. When he's especially people he loves. So he doesn't pray lots of ọmọ kan tó wà ń bàdàn yẹn, tó ń pè ní Segbowe yẹn, Ọlọ́run bá mi fà àlùbáríkà fún, Ọlọ́run bá mi ṣe kíníkan òun ni mo fẹ́ lò fún character yẹn. So ẹnìyẹn wá send the video yẹn. He doesn't know up till now. In fact, this is the first time I'm saying this.
Did that production eventually happen?
He said,
did that production eventually happen?
No. He hasn't shot it. Maybe in the nearest future he will, but he hasn't filmed the project.
All right, let's talk about your second role model, if we can express it that way. That is Gabriel Afolayan.
Gabriel Afolayan.
What endeared you to Gabriel?
Just like Ibrahim Chatta, Gabriel is also a natural. He plays his roles flawlessly. I feel for me, sometimes when I watch him, I see him as someone who is, for now, still underrated. He has so much more to give. He has not been explored yet. I feel so. And maybe because he doesn't just jump on any project. Because eventually when I met him, it was one of the things he told me. He doesn't jump on any project. He would have the script first, even sometimes before he discusses fee. He have the script, read it. If he's cool with it, then he would jump on it. If it's not, he wouldn't jump on such story. So I guess that's why he's not been seen in all movies. He's not been seen all over the place.
Now, have you worked together? Have you worked with Gabriel before on the same set? For the
first time, early this year, I worked with Gabriel Afolayan on a project bound to be on Netflix, maybe later this year. I was on that project, as an actor and also a dialogue director, more like a cultural consultant, because the project is written in majorly in English, but it's a Yoruba concept. So I was asked to come and be the cultural consultant, correct Yorubas of some of the actors who are not Yoruba indigenous.
Very fluent in Yoruba, okay.
They're not fluent in Yoruba. So Gabriel was, when I met him, do you want me to talk about when I met him?
Yeah.
When I met him, the producer already knew I adore Gabriel. So Big Gabriel Shidori, but she did. I wasn't on that set. I was somewhere. I wasn't around. I was on the set. I was helping out with an actor on set. So the producer came to call me, Gabriel's deal. I said, Gabriel's deal. Let me finish this thing. When I was done, I went to him and I shook his hands. I said, Brother Gabriel, you are a textbook to actors. You should be studied. You know, he was so humble. He said,
you did a video of that, didn't you?
Yes, I eventually did a video of that. But what went behind the video, you know, it wasn't, I didn't post it. So I told him, I said, you are a textbook that other actors should read. You are a role model. And he was like, no, I just do my thing. I'm just and all that and say all that. And I said something. I said, I used to hope that whenever I meet you, I would hold your leg and bow.
Wow.
And I was about to do that. He just held me and hugged me and said, no, don't do that. I appreciate you to have seen your work. And he started mentioning my works. And I'm like, really?
Wow.
So my role
So this guy has been following me.
So he told me about Awaladun Day. He said I'm his favorite on Awaladun Day. And he told me that someday when he comes to Ibadan, he was going to come around and then we will work together and all that. I said, okay, no problem. I collected his, I didn't collect his number, but we followed each other on Instagram.
Okay.
That was it.
All right. So now what brought...
the only time for now.
Okay. What brought about that question or that discussion about Gabriel and Ibrahim Chata? It's just about, you know, who your influences have been in the industry. Now, I want to take you back to your time in Ibadan as a young person, not as a struggling actor now, but as a younger person, still living with your parents and all that. I learned that there was a time in this Ibadan. You are in Lagos right now, right? And I'm in Ibadan. Is that correct? Are you in Lagos?
I'm currently in Lagos.
In Lagos, all right. There was a time in this Ibadan you hawked goods. Is that correct?
Yes.
So, bọ́ọ̀lù ṣe máa ń polówó ọjà ńgbà yẹn, kí ló máa ń tà ńgbà yẹn?
Àwọn nǹkan tí mo tà pọ̀, bóyá kí n list wọn. Àwọn kan wà mí ò kiri wọn.
Kò ṣáà máa polówó díẹ̀ ìta bá fẹ́ràn bí a máa sọ pé a fẹ́ rà.
Ìgbà kan wà mo ta ẹ̀fọ́. Ẹ̀fọ́ yẹn mo dá lóko ni, mo dá oko ẹ̀ ni. Wọ́n máa ń wá rà lọ́dọ̀ wa. Màá lọ fresh ni, màá lọ tú lóko fún wọn láti tà. So mi ò kiri yẹn. Ìgbà kan wà mo ta bread, mi ò kiri yẹn náà. A máa lọ gbà ní bakery ni, wọ́n á wá rà nílé wa ni. Ìgbà kan wà mo kiri ẹja díndín.
Ọmọ ẹlẹ́ja.
Mo specify
ọmọ ẹlẹ́ja. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́ja panla wá fẹ́ di.
A ní ìgbà yẹn a máa ní ẹ̀rẹ́jà dín ọ̀sán ẹ̀ mú gààrí o. Mo máa ń kiri gbà yẹn ni.
O máa ń kiri ẹ̀ káàkiri àdúgbò.
Máa ń kiri ẹ̀ káàkiri àdúgbò.
Akinola, I understand your father, may God rest his soul, worked with a bank. Is that correct?
Yes.
So what led you into, hawking? Banking was and still a dignifying profession. I'm more of banker. My father worked with First Bank. So if things were working fine, I'm supposed to be a more botsy and like that. But issues happened. So what led you into hawking?
Okay, this is actually the first time I'll be saying this. I always avoid this on when I'm being interviewed, but because it's you and this is up close, Abby.
Yeah, up close and personal. So we are still in up part now. We are still getting to the personal part.
Okay. My dad worked with Afribank, the then Afribank, but basically what happened was my dad and my mom had marital issues, and he was gone for a while, and that was it. That was when the whole hawking and everything.
So you had to just
it was just a way
manage.
to survive. Then
Okay.
he didn't know about it. He didn't know
Really?
about it until some time. He eventually knew about it, and it was really, when a man is ashamed of oh mommy, hold on tight, we needed to do it to survive.
You're the first child.
Yes, I'm his first child, and
His
the
first
only
child.
male. Yes.
The only male. Okay. All right. Your mom is into food business.
Food business, yes.
No, was she into food business from the start, or because of the issues that happened, then she had to venture into food business to survive?
No, she has been into food business even before I was born. What happened then was our shop was razed by fire.
Okay.
It was at the point he just collected this cooperative money to buy stuff to stock the shop, and then the night after that, everything just went.
Well, that must be a difficult time.
It was a very difficult time.
All right, let's move on now. Let me see if I still have some things from the up part. You're speaking about let's talk about your school, your nursery school, or is it primary school, your secondary school.
Okay.
Were you a truant in school?
No, I wasn't. I was actually very disciplined. Like woman wrote leg into. I wasn't a trans.
School Umbadoi.
I wasn't a trans until some point. I needed to clear that. I wasn't a trans until I got to GS1.
Okay.
And then GS1, it was my first time in secondary school, like first time away from my from home. Like no teacher was going to call my father or my mother that so, and it was a public school, St. Patrick's
school.
St. Paco.
Okay.
Yes. So my GS1 was just me, and I hated writing notes. So sometimes the teacher wants to come into the class and ask for our notes. Window jade with my friends then. So that was GS1. That was 1999.
You are chief truant. You are chief truant.
But it was just for a session.
Oh, okay. That's for GS1.
Yes, just GS1. My dad discovered that my performance was very poor. That was 1999. So 2000, he withdrew me to a private school where I started all over again. That was Providence High School. I started all over again from GS1. So
and you got serious.
And that I got serious, really serious.
Okay. All right.
So but I went to a lot of schools, sure. Because I was dropping, going to another school at some point.
Because of academic failure or because of some other issues?
Because of financial issues.
Okay. That was when things happened. That was when things happened.
Yes.
Well, it happened, and I believe it happened to me too. Maybe one day somebody will bring me up on ask me questions, and I'll you know me that I always like to talk about myself. There is nothing to hide. No one is perfect, and as for me, I don't blame anybody. I believe that if I were in my father's shoes, maybe I would have even done worse. You get so maybe that was the way I believe they could handle that situation at that time. Maybe they were not proud of how they handled it, but it was the way. Yeah, so we are guys too, so we just have to learn from those mistakes. Now let's move on. Oh, let's talk about your joining. I knew you in 2016 when I was head of programs, Lit City FM of Lit City University, Ibadan. That day you just told in. And you remember GD Ogunluyi, the head of station then. We always call you Bonnie M, Bonnie M, Bonnie M. What's it Bonnie M on Facebook, Lenny? What's Bonnie M? So that time, Ofewa program ni. So I felt that okay, Akinola, nobody knew Segbowe at that time. It was Akinola. But the laptop by to man that in the
Oshiwa. By God's grace. Oshinshishe.
Wow. So that time you are doing something on relationship and asking I became tied to program.
Love Regatta.
Love Regatta. Who gave Love Regatta that name?
It was Uncle Laolu. Uncle Laolu. Yes, Uncle Laolu. It was Love between Regatta. You and Uncle Laolu. I can't really remember because you were
Emi Ogboyinbo de Regatta. Kini mo Regatta
is suggest for me enjoying just to fine tune the program. So Love Regatta came up.
So you started Love Regatta, but before then, I remember you were with Star FM.
Yes.
So and at that time, I'm sorry to say this, broadcast law. It's part of your story now. So don't let me tell your story. Tell your story by yourself.
Okay. Like I said, when growing up, I wanted to do a lot of things. And one of them was presenting on radio and on TV. Okay. So when acting was not really, I wasn't having an edge in acting then, but I was going for auditions steady, hoping that someday I would get the chance. So I decided to also put in for radio programs as well. So I would draft out proposals on radio programs and all that, and I would take it to stations. One of the stations I took it to was Star FM, and I guess even though I wasn't really good then, like really good with handling, I'd never tried it before or visited the radio station to see, okay, this is how they do it and all that. But I guess the man saw that Tomo, if he liar I went for an interview and he said, okay, I'm up for any program, but while our adverts were sponsors and all that. So I was looking for, I remember I got sponsorship from there used to be this hotel then, it's still there now, around that Owu Crown, yes.
How come I know your story this much?
Because you're my father now.
Okay.
I'm your adopted son. So I got sponsorship from Owu Crown, but it was not monetary. It was just okay, we will give some of your listeners chances to come and sleep in a hotel, to come and do honeymoon, to come and do this and that. And you too, sometimes when you cannot go home, you can come to our hotel to rest and all that. So it became an issue at some point because the staff of the radio station also wanted to be using the hotel. And I was like, okay, this place is meant for my listeners. If I don't give it out, these people will know, Owu Crown will know, and I must mention Owu Crown. So at some point, the director then, I've forgotten his name now, the chairman then said I shouldn't mention Owu Crown anymore. And Owu Crown was like, we can't give you that place anymore. And I kept on going to the station with fuel. Every I remember then I would buy 3,000 naira fuel.
Diesel.
Was it 3,000? Yes, I every week I must have 3,000 naira, and I wasn't working anywhere. Like I wasn't getting the money from anywhere. Mom Milo suffering by that because we're talking about she won't have a choice. She's just wọ́n mọ̀ ọgbọ́n ọjọ́ wo ni wọ́n gan máa mú owó wálé yóò kí pa owó lórí program yẹn ṣọ́sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ láwọn you know my mom is Ìjẹ̀ṣà náà ṣọ́sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ láwọn máa dájọ́ 3,000 báyìí ọ̀rọ̀ amú kankan wálé níbi ibi kí omi lọ
rédíò kí omi lọ
amígbóhùn rẹ̀ àmọ́ ẹ yọwó kó ṣẹlẹ̀. I would take fuel to the place and I was tired at some point, so I started looking out for other radio station, and then I heard,
so at that time you were trying to become an actor, but the jobs were not coming.
The chances
were you frustrated? Were you frustrated at that time? Was that what led you into trying out broadcasting?
No, I was going to do everything. I was frustrated with acting, but it wasn't the drive for radio presenting. In fact, at some point I felt if I got popular with acting, it would be easier for me to navigate all these things. Then I wanted to be a model. I was trying modeling in Lagos. I would go for modeling auditions in Lagos. I would go for TV presenting auditions. A lot of things. I was just doing everything. But I knew acting was the soul. Acting and script writing were my core what is it called now? Dream. Passion. Yes, passion. So that was it. And then that led me to Lead City, where I met one great man who saw this young boy and felt, what I call my ninkokon. And I will forever. In fact, even tell me by because even at some point at Lead City FM, I was good. The program was going to be yanked off, and it was even going to affect Dele Adeyanju's work. So, but he found a way to say, at some point, japa.
All right.
So I have to stop.
Because I remember that time when you were not making enough money. I remember the time you always go to Segbowe. You and Michael. What's his surname? Michael.
Michael Adejonwo.
Adejonwo, old man funfun. No, ẹ máa ṣe àwọn production woro ní rí kò ní jáde. Ẹ máa lè fẹ́ yàṣẹ́ kan gbogbo ṣe tẹ ya àṣà ní rí kankan. Until one day, when you anyway, let me quickly acknowledge the messages we have on Facebook right now.
Okay.
Bola Fani Yorioke, Oni Segbowe Tia. Timileyin Itobiadio, I have a question for Mr. Segbowe. We'll come back to that part later. Okay. Adetono Abiola Abiodun said, well done, bro. He said he's itching to get to the personal part. You get. Oluwakemi Deborah says, thank God for his dad's timely intervention. And John Afolabi said, and the man is Mr. Dele Adeyanju. Thank you, John. Thumbs up. All right. So, there was a time you came back to me and told me that Egbon, I fẹ́ lọ no school, I fẹ́ ya iṣẹ́ kan, iṣẹ́ yẹn series, iṣẹ́ serial lẹ́yìn pé àbí series, iṣẹ́ yẹn serious job ni o gbé ẹnìkan lẹ́yìn ìgbà yẹn pé ẹni tó máa jẹ́ director lélẹ̀, wọ́n á pè director. Ìbéèrè pé àwọn èèyàn tó máa ń ṣe director, wọ́n máa ní ìṣàtì ẹ̀mọ́ ṣá. Okay, Yinka Sonda from the US, thank you so much. Just try to pay me, but because of this production, I couldn't pick. I'll call you back later. Yinka Sonda, that's US. Bright light. I can allow like one people increase lights ni Ojoe, so that somebody increase the lights. Yes, mole Ojoe. All right. So Dabai. So that day you came to me pé calorie ball la ṣe fẹ́ lò inú school ẹ fẹ́ ya college affairs pé mi náà dẹ̀ máa act ńbẹ̀ mo tún mọ̀ pé Akínọlá tún dé o àwọn iṣẹ́ tí ó máa yà tí ò kì í jáde but this one seemed serious mo ní okay tá a bá fẹ́ lò inú college tá a bá fẹ́ lò university then that means a máa láti lọ rí Dr. Owolabi. Now what informed the decision, your decision or what informed your choice of college affairs? Because you had so many scripts at that time, but you decided to shoot college affairs, and college affairs lule. College affairs shikini olule.
Olule.
Tell this. Yes, olule now. Tell the story. Kilo Shele, you invested so much, but you didn't get anything from college affairs.
Okay. The choice. Why college affairs? I just wanted. I love youthful stories. I love telling stories about youthful exuberance, telling stories about youth struggling, the struggles of the youth. Sometimes we are indecisive. We want to do something. Another thing is looking so beautiful, and we really want to go into it. Just making decisions. And then I wanted to tell it in a college way, like telling stories of what goes on in the college. I saw then that a lot of college stories in Nigeria was all about cultism. The focus was too much on cultism around that time. It was 2016.
Yeah, 2016.
It was 2016. So I just wanted to tell that story. At first, if you remember well, Uncle Dele, that script was meant to be a radio drama.
Yeah, that's true.
If you remember. Yes.
Moroti, you wrote it originally to be a radio drama on Lead City FM.
On Lead City FM. But I wasn't given the chance. And then I gave you one episode to read. And then you suggested that together with Eba.
Yeah.
Uncle Eba, you mentioned that I think I asked you then about it. Film, and you were like, this will go well if it is visual. But you just said it was just a casual advice. And I picked it up, and then I wrote I went home and then started writing again and wrote it well. In form of a script for TV. And I started gathering money. And I remember then I borrowed money. I took loans from friends, from people to the tune of 1.6 million.
No. Are you kidding me? Are you saying college affairs took up to 1.6 million naira?
Yes.
1.6 million naira.
1.6 million naira.
As far back as 20. You didn't tell me this anyway.
Yes, I didn't tell you. But then Ofe saw Tammy didn't come in because I was depressed when the movie didn't come out, when the series did not come out. So I was going to shoot 26 episodes, hoping that I would take it to Africa Magic, and they were going to hear it. But we were still amateurs then, so it didn't really come out well. The storyline was good, but what kept jumping at potential buyers was the sound quality and the picture quality and the performance of some of the actors. If you remember,
you used amateur actors.
Amateur actors.
You used the sound man to be a director.
Yes.
Am I shaking tables? Am I shaking tables?
A sound man was the director. And then, because I let the emotional. Sorry, I'm wearing capo. It's actually because I just did a particular hairstyle for a project, and we've been asked not to unveil anything about it.
So, because Mr. Tony Okumbumi on Facebook is asking where is his Afro hairstyle.
Oh, the Afro is gone. I'm an actor. My body is my workshop. So sometimes I have to change it to look different.
Okay.
For other roles. So that was it on college affairs. And then you assisted me in I remember we acquired Lead City then. Not acquired, is that acquired? No. We rented Lead City. Is it
some
rented?
part of Lead City?
Some parts of Lead City. Yeah. The hostel. And they gave us for like a week. So we're going to shoot. We're running against time. We're going to shoot. Eventually, we decided to shoot 13 episodes. So we're going to shoot 13 episodes within 7 days that we were given.
Okay.
It was a crazy one, but 10. It didn't come out well. At the end of the day, it's still on my laptop. That laptop.
That your laptop.
My ancient laptop is still on it. They never saw the light of the day.
So how did you repay those debts?
Funny enough, my friends didn't collect the monies back.
Wow.
My money was, of course, I invested as well, but the ones one of my friends is was on that project. Joseph was Satuye. In fact, then Bitcoin just started then. This Bitcoin buying and selling and all that. So Joseph was into Bitcoin.
Okay.
He was studying in what's this place? One foreign country, Cyprus.
Okay.
He was studying in Cyprus. So he came over all the way from Cyprus to be a part of the project. So he gave me some money then. I think 360,000 naira. So he gave me 300,000. When I needed more money, he added 60,000. I can't remember now, but he was also part of the project. He didn't collect it up till today. And he's one person I really, really respect. And
you guys are still together?
We're still friends.
Okay.
Life has gotten busy for all of us, but we're still friends. I can message him now and he can message me anytime, send me WhatsApp messages and all that. Okay. And sometimes call.
Okay.
So one of the persons I also collected money from then was Adile Fabusoro. Mr. Adile Fabusoro. That's the executive producer of Anwaladu.
Okay. The CEO of Rear Edge.
Yes, the CEO of Rear Edge.
Now, was Leye Fabusoro your boss then, or you just knew him casually?
Well, I would say he was my boss because he was the executive producer of Anwaladu. But
so you were already on Anwaladu then?
Yes, I just started. In fact, it was some of the monies I was paid on Anwaladu because we just finished producing. We just finished filming Anwaladu. We just finished filming like 26 episodes then. So the money I was paid, I invested it in the project. So I told him about it, and then he assisted with some monies too. I think he gave me 300,000, and later sent 50,000 on sets, making 350,000. Then the rest was
let's cut the college affairs story. Let's move in now to your Segbowe project, your Segbowe brand. How did you become Segbowe?
Okay. That's a funny story, but I always appreciate God when I remember the story. I was auditioned just like every other project, and I eventually didn't get the role. Initially, Anwaladu was meant to be Baba, Mama, and the kids. That was the story for.
So you auditioned to be initially. You auditioned to be junior.
Yeah, they auditioned me to be junior, but eventually they concluded that I was too old to be the junior they wanted then. And so I didn't get the role the junior role. Eventually, junior was given the role. The present junior, Mofe Intola, was given the role, and I was called. I think after some months, I was called to come and play a friend to junior. We call it day actor. I was called to come and play just 3 scenes out of 56 episodes. Just an episode. 3 scenes in an episode. I was called to play. Junior's parents were not around. Junior invited me over. We had a party. A girl got drunk. The girl went back home. The mother brought the girl back to Junior's house to come and pariwo, and all that. That was the story. That was the episode. So I left. So after a while, I was paid for that role, and that was it. After a while, I was called by the PM to come back and audition for Segbowe character.
Okay.
And that was how I got the role. But I remember that one thing people should learn from this story, I would love people to learn from this story, was I remember that when I was paid for that a day actor role, I was paid, I think 5,000 then, as at then,
for those 3 scenes.
Okay. Yeah, for the 3 scenes, it was an episode. That was the amount they were paying then. I was paid 5,000. Okay. And the moment I got the alert, the PM called me to confirm if I got the alert. And I said yes. I appreciated him. And after the call, I sent him 450 recharge card, MTN recharge card. I remember then. I sent it to him and he was like, Akinola, did you send me credit? I said yes. He said, why did you send me credits now? I said, no, I just used it to appreciate you. And that was it. Maybe, just maybe, that was why I was preferred when eventually the 56 episodes they produced as at that time didn't turn out well. So they wanted to start all over again. And when they wanted to start all over again, they decided that there should be a funny character that would be coming into that house, Junior's friends, who will be coming to, to just disturb the house and do this and do that. So I guess in their meeting, when they were looking for actors to play that role, to come and be auditioned for that role, Shayo must have remembered me because of that act of appreciation. I guess so, because I never knew Shayo from anywhere. It was on that set that I knew Shayo. Fola Shayo, I've forgotten his surname now, but I think Shayo Amani is his Instagram handle. So he called me, and I realized that I wasn't the only person that was called. He called me, but I realized that I was his preferred person.
Okay.
Because the executive producers were not around at that time. The executive producers were 2 for Awaladu at that time. That was Mr. Leye Fabusoro and Mr. Lani Stevens.
Okay.
So they were not around. They had traveled. So before he placed the camera in front of me, he told me, Akinola, what do you like for role? Because you know, it was giving me the clues to all. And
the initial one-day job you did for the episode,
yes,
was the character Segbowe?
It wasn't Segbowe. It was just a normal guy who came around. It wasn't the
normal
character.
A normal sensible guy, not the senseless naughty.
Yes, I think Segbowe. I was even the character name was Tunde.
Okay.
I think it was Tunde or something. I can't really remember, but I think it was Tunde. Okay. And unfortunately for them, unfortunately for me, the 56 episodes could not fly.
Okay.
So they had to do another 26 episodes. And this time around, I was chosen for the Segbowe character, and I featured on 18 episodes.
Okay.
From one episode to being a regular face, playing 18 episodes. And it was when I got on that set, I was able to speak with the producer and discuss with the producer that I also write scripts. And then she said, that's Fumilayo
Oloyede.
Fumilayo Oloyede. Yes. Fumilayo Oloyede. Yes. Fumilayo, I told Fumilayo about script writing, that I also write scripts and all that. And he promised that when they were going to shoot another season, she was going to call me, which she did. And up until last year, I think I was the writer with the most episodes on Awala today. Up until last year.
So you stopped writing for them now?
Yes, I stopped writing.
All right. So now you started with Segbowe. Was your the attention on you, the fame, the acceptance, was it instant at that time? Because I remember, I think in 2017 we traveled together to Segbowe. Was it? I think Segbowe. Yes. or Ilisha or Segbowe. I can't remember. Every street I drove, every street we pass, children will be shouting, Segbowe, Segbowe, Segbowe. You
Yes.
became popular. Was it instant or was it a gradual thing?
It wasn't instant. It was a gradual thing because Anwaladu started as a every Friday show.
Okay.
But
it wasn't daily like
upon
as
season
it is
2,
now.
yeah, it wasn't daily. But upon season 2 of Anwaladu, and at that time, coincidentally, it was the time when Madam Jai Kuti was introduced on Anwaladu. I remember then we were on set and Auntie Jai came on set for another production of Reg, but the executive producer wanted her to be on Anwaladu Day as well. That was Family First. She was on Family First, but they had finished Family First and she was still around, so they wanted her to be on Anwaladu. And I remember, I was an actor and also a writer, so I was easy to contact. Fumi came to meet me and said we need an impromptu 2 episodes that we needed to include Auntie Jai to be on. And I asked her, what character would you like Auntie Jai to be? And she said, Akinola, just I trust you to write something. So just let's work around something. And I said, okay, how about she plays elder sister to the
Mrs.
wife, to Mrs. Adum. That's the auntie of Junior. And she was like, that's good. And I said, okay, how about she's that disciplinarian who would do a no-nonsense woman and all that. And she was like, oh, that's good. If you can come up with something. I said, okay, don't worry, tomorrow you will get 2 episodes. And I wrote Conspiracy 1 and 2. It was the first time of writing an episode that will lead into the next episode.
Okay.
Like, it was the first time on that show. So I wrote Conspiracy 1, Conspiracy 2, where Junior, the woman comes to visit, meets Segbowe. And I created that the woman does not like Segbowe at all, because they feel Segbowe is not supposed to be a part of that family, not supposed to come around, because Segbowe is a bad influence on the children and all that. At that moment, yes, that was that was up until date. I think it was it was that episode that pushed Anwaladu. Like, it was upon that episode that Africa Magic decided that, okay, this show has to be a daily show. One, and then it was the first Yoruba show to have Omnibus. Omnibus is a show that they show during the week and then they show a recap on Sunday.
Okay.
It was the first time. So that helped us because we were in the faces of everyone every day. So I can say that was the point. And that was 2018.
Yeah.
And that's about that time that we were doing our tour. You and I, we went to Ilesha, we went to Ijebu. Yes. So I guess that was it for Anwaladu. That was around that time when we became really known, especially in the Southwest.
Okay. Now you started shooting your own movies around that time, 2018.
Yes.
Now, what's the title of your first movie?
Well, I started shooting, after I failed on College Affairs. I met with Akiambiola, who came also as a staff in Rare Edge, and he also has a story like mine. He has once tried a series and failed as well. So he called me and said, how about we do something together? Let this be our first. And then from here, from that one, we can do stuff on our own, helping each other. I said, okay, no problem. And so we decided to contribute money. But at some point, we felt our money might not be enough. So I spoke to Mr. Adele Fabusoro, and he was like, okay, I'm interested. Let me be the executive producer. I give you guys money. You go and produce for me. So Akinola came up with Ewife. He wrote the story, and I was going to be the actor. He's the man behind the camera. He's the director. He was the producer. We were co-producers. So I would say that was my first job, like a comeback after the failure of
College Affairs.
College Affairs. So that was in 2017, early 2017. So we produced Ewife. So after Ewife, I produced Eleri.
Did Ewife make it?
Production. You said?
Did Ewife make any impact? No. Did you make your money? Was it shown on African Magic or?
Yes, Ewife. In fact, they've stopped showing it on African Magic because they've exhausted the the movie already. But it made so much impact because at that time, for me, it made so much impact in my career because at that time, I was already being boxed into Segbowe role. Everyone was seeing me as a clown, as a comedian. They didn't know I could do something beyond that. So when Ewife came up, I was this responsible boy, a fine boy who was going to date a girl, They were surprised. Even though some people still told me that I'm still seeing Segbowe. I'm still seeing that Segbowe. And I was like, I was telling them, some of my close people who I asked to, when I make a movie like that, I asked them to do a critique of that movie. So some of them were telling me, I've still seen Segbowe and all that. So some of them, I told them that maybe it's because you've seen Segbowe for too long. That's why you still see me and then you see Segbowe, and which was actually true then. But then I've improved over the years. So I know that at some point they were actually seeing Segbowe, in the acting. So Ewife was the first one. And it made impact because people were able to see me in another light. One, maybe the money was not there because we were just bloody producers. The money goes back to the exec, the person who has dropped the money. But for me, as an actor, it pushed me further. And then that was the point where other producers started noticing me and feeling like, okay, my friend 2,000 coffee motor delay.
So that was when you started taking acting roles from other people. That was it was that point. Okay.
It was at that point. Although before then, I had done some English, English producers. I'm talking about Mnet now. They only, most of the time, it is about your prowess, not about, people know you already, let me call you for the job. It was about prowess. About what you can do.
So deliver.
Then I had featured on Hotel Majestic. I remember there was a day you called me and you were like, Akimo, where are you, Hotel Majestic? Hotel Majestic.
Yeah, you acted with this lady, Kiloroko lady,
I've forgotten.
It's been a long time, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Ego something.
No, not Ego. One like I want to see act film.
Yes, I've forgotten her name actually. But
she was in Edo, she was quite popular at that time, but I'm not sure she acts any longer.
Yeah, I think she's out of the country now.
Okay.
So.
All right, so
something.
can't remember. All right, so now you did a Larry.
Yes, that was in 2017.
And you are the executive producer.
Not only me. You see, one of the things Ewife did for me was when on the release of Ewife. At first, Ewife didn't even. It was on the third month that Ewife started. People started noticing Ewife on YouTube then. So it was at that time that my friend Oluwanishola Abaton saw the movie, and I think at that time he had some money with him, some of his savings then, and then he was like, mo film coin Ewife, they're nice, so that was when people started taking me serious. I would like boy, and then he saw that I was one of the producers, so he was like, okay, I just show him now. So we we were it was two of us that invested money, but I was the producer.
Okay.
It was two executive producers, one producer. So that was when I produced and I wrote
the scripts.
The Witness. I wrote the script. In fact, I had the script before. I just brushed it up, and then we produced Eleri in 2017.
If you remember, you've discussed the script with me before, even before you thought of producing the movie Eleri. You narrated. Yes. There was time you always come up with Uncle Dele, one script, this story, and I always follow by. If I didn't follow your stories, then must stand, you know. All right. So now after did Eleri make any impact? Like, Eleri is supposed to throw you into the face of people, let people know you, let people understand what you can do. And Eleri at that time was supposed to give you more jobs. So it was supposed to basically open doors for you.
Yes, Eleri did, but as the day goes by, Eleri did, but every movie has always have their impact on me, on people seeing me in another light. So Eleri did his own quota.
Okay.
And I think he's still doing, because some people will see it and be like, "Oh, I just saw a movie, Eleri. He's out there. He's on YouTube." Anyway,
it's still on YouTube.
It's still on YouTube. Yes. In fact, it got me some fans in diaspora.
Okay.
So Eleri also had, even though I didn't make money, we didn't eventually make money from Eleri. A part of the money I made from Eleri, in fact, Eleri gave me issues of the money, because it was some part of that money that I went to use to. Well, if you don't go moto. You remember the story now?
It was a Camry, old school Camry, yeah,
Under.
Okay, under route me. Alhamdulillah. Okay, so after Eleri, so after Eleri, after Eleri, what did you do?
After Eleri, I produced Tenitika.
Okay.
Was also
on Tenitika, you had Latif Adedimeji.
Latif Adedimeji, yes.
And that was the first time you acted together.
Yes, that was the first time. You see, like I said, Eleri brought me to know someone who invested in Tenitika.
Okay.
Someone saw Eleri and was like, okay, when I saw Eleri, I started seeing all your movies. I saw a Wi-Fi. I saw some of your episodes on Awaladun, the ones that were uploaded on YouTube. Person was not in Nigeria. And then the person said, okay, let's do something now. Okay, take this money, produce. So I wasn't the executive producer of Tenitika, but I was the producer.
Okay.
So I came up with a story then, and we produced Tenitika. And at the same time, after production of Eleri, my friend Oluwani Shola Abaton, he was encouraged and said, Akinola, jeka tu share me. So we produced Omorisha almost at the same time. That was why I
almost at the same time,
together
at the same time.
That was
Omorisha was the first cultural movie you did.
Yes.
And the only culture movie you did so far. You have done so far.
The only
okay,
so
but
far.
Omorisha did not make it to African Magic, did it? Eventually.
Yes, Omorisha didn't make it to African Magic. Tenitika made it to African Magic. But what I got from the agent was that I asked him. Okay, he said there was no reason, that it was just rejected, and I'm like, this was even my best movie. As I
Because for
said,
me, Omorisha is far better. For me, my
even
opinion
for me,
and about what I like, I prefer Omorisha to Tenitika.
even for me, even for me, even for me. But I
This
guess
lady, what's her name again? This lady to Mansukunyi,
Bukumi, Bukumi
Bukumi
Oluwashina.
Oluwashina put in her A game in that movie,
Yes,
and the setup,
yes,
everything was just. So why didn't this movie make it? So sometimes, before you get to where you're going, it's not,
yeah,
it's easy for somebody to say, mo fẹ́ dàbí Lateef Adédìméjì, mo fẹ́ dàbí Akínọlá Akànó in a day. You have
yes,
to learn through the ropes. So láti gba ladder yẹn kọjá, ó dàbí snake and ladder,
yeah.
and by the time you are climbing, sometimes the head of
You
of
fall.
the snake draws you back to the tail. Sometimes you fall through,
Yes,
you fall from the ladder, and you try to climb again. I didn't know you spent up
yes.
to 1.6 million naira on college affairs, and
I did.
you didn't
I
get
did.
any. I know you didn't get anything from Ewaife,
Nothing at all.
Tenitika, and now. So what's going to be the fate of Omorisha?
Okay, Omorisha, I've been advised to submit again, and then we did. We've submitted again, but the window is closed now. We're waiting for the window to be open. Like they call it
Okay.
window. The agent said,
Okay.
okay, we've not heard from them yet. That's
Okay.
Africa magic. But the thing now
John
is,
Afolabi says, I like that Omorisha and I prefer it to Tenitika.
yes, yes.
So you are saying
Even
something?
me, the producer, I preferred
Mm,
Omorisha because I loved
mm,
Omorisha. Everything about Omorisha, the costumes, the acting, the storyline, the theme of the story, the lessons learned from the story. So, but the
okay.
thing is, Nigeria is we thank God, um, Nollywood will someday, or very soon, become like the music industry where we have many platforms to showcase our products. So
Mm,
Amazon has just arrived. Nigeria, Netflix is there doing
okay.
great.
Okay.
Hopefully, Disney is coming, Hulu is coming. A lot of them are coming, so we will have
A lot of platforms.
uh,
So nobody, because
platforms.
no no one will be doing
Yeah,
Yanga any longer. Once you have
yeah,
your production, your type production, and you
and
can
it's a
vouch
good
for, you
one.
can
Yeah,
defend it anytime. Yeah. Okay. Now,
yes.
so I was coming to that cinema movie you shot, but before then,
Okay.
I want us to talk about those other movies you did, like Knockdown, of which I didn't act
Okay.
in Knockdown anyway, but my voice is on. In fact, my voice opened Knockdown.
Yes, and that was for me. That was significant.
Àwọn èèyàn wá ń pè mí náà pé mo gbọ́ voice just about just few people pé àwọn èèyàn ń beef èmi gan ó yẹ kí n múra sáàdúrà people are beefing me.
um,
So
Knockdown.
knockdown came after the lockdown, the COVID-19 lockdown.
Yes, yes. Lockdown, for lockdown is one of the most significant production I have made. I've produced 6 movies so far, but Knockdown is one very significant one in my life because Knockdown encapsulates every my experience in life
Mm,
as a struggling teenager, um as an actor, and then it also helped me it was a way for me to make people laugh after the pandemic. And for you, I significantly, you I made your voice open because of how much I hold you in high esteem.
thank you.
And
Thank you.
we're definitely going to do more, but I'm not going to reveal that, no matter how much you push me tonight. But then, for me, if you remember, and then you also influenced Knockdown,
How?
and you this is how you influenced Knockdown. I was going to write a story about where I came from. I've done Ewife for Iseyin, for the Iseyin people. Omorisha was also about Iseyin. And that was because, my friend was from Iseyin. My partner then, Akiambiola, is from Iseyin. So that's why we had the story around there. And then at some point we did one about Ikogusi. That was an English story. It was produced by Akiambiola. That was Lovish. We did about Ikogusi. We're going to be exploring, in our stories. We wanted to tell have some themes from where we
attached to the tourism tourist sites in each location.
Site. Yes. So coming up with knockdown, the lockdown did not happen in Ibadan. Lockdown did not happen in Ibadan. It happened in Lagos, and I think some parts of Abuja, and then some strategic places. It didn't happen in Ibadan. People were walking freely during that lockdown. They were only observing the don't stand close to somebody, cover your nose and all that. But
I remember I remember the time you were stranded in Lagos. You couldn't come back to.
Yes, I couldn't come back. I was in Lagos, so I decided to write it. It was going to be a short film.
Okay.
But then when I'm writing, sometimes I want to think of the commercial aspects too. I felt short film might not really go far. I would only showcase them at festivals and all that. And at the end of the day, nothing might come out of it. So I decided that, okay, let me write Knockdown. And I was going to write it around Ibadan, where I came from. And the first person that came to my head, I'm always very keen about the soundtrack of my movies. The first person that came to my head was, there is no other custodian of Yoruba music, no other custodian of all these oldies. Àwọn orin shitty, orin tó mọ́gbọ́n wá, other than Dele Adeyanju. And if you remember, I called you and I said, Uncle Dele, and I'm sure then you told me, Akiola the day because then he used to run from acting. I don't know why. I was like, Akiola, so I remember I called you and I was like, Uncle Dele, money that worry at your and I like the fact that when it is you, now, you were quick to say, oh yeah, we must send our consider this, must send our consider, and then you started sending them. And while sending them, in fact, I think I had already written the script, so I had to adjust some things for those songs that I listened to, and I was like, okay, Uncle Dele no ma ko sọ̀rọ̀ nínú film yìí. Lembado, lè máa kọ́ introduce Ìbàdàn. Lembado, àti Dele ni o. Ṣáà lójú kòkòrò báyìí. Kini kọta kó wọlé, àti ti kó corona wọlé. And it was beautiful. It was so beautiful. Like, up until date, whenever I'm watching Knockdown, funny enough, I still posted something about Knockdown just a few minutes ago on my Instagram. I'm still going to share it on Facebook. I still posted one particular part that was significant. My all-time favorite scene, one of my all-time favorite scenes, is that part where I went to the bar. Tell me àti bọ̀bọ̀ kan jà tí mo sọ pé sọ fún mẹkáníìkì mi lèmi o. I
think Debo in the party.
Debo Wale. If I also we can send the excerpt, so I send it to Barry. So it was Knockdown is a significant. I can tell categorically that it was on Knockdown that I can say that I made money significantly. That is after how many trials. It was on Knockdown that I can say, okay, I made something from YouTube. I made something from Africa Magic because it was sold to Africa Magic. Even though the money might not be enough, but I can say that, okay, this is the money I made from making a movie.
After about 5 or 6 trials?
Yes. The rest, they were just helping to push me out there for people to see me. And it was until Knockdown, after all those movies that people have seen, that some producers have seen, they still didn't believe. In fact, recently I met with one PM that said it was Knockdown that he felt that okay, Akinola is an actor. That the rest, he was just looking at me. Oshin Shirin. Oh no. He said Tenitika. He said Tenitika.
Okay.
He said because of how I acted, my look, I had to leave my hair to be able to match up with Latif's look, to act Latif's friend, because people have already been seeing me like I'm very, very way too younger than Latif. So I needed something my look to change to be able to match up with him and all that. So but Knockdown is a blessing to me and to people who see it too, because they always laugh and give me testimonies.
So was it after Knockdown that you did the cinema movie, or you did one before the cinema movie?
Yeah, after Knockdown, I did Stab.
Yes, Stab, and we are still waiting for the second part of Stab.
People are waiting for second part of Knockdown too. They want a sequel of Knockdown.
And unfortunately, there won't be any Knockdown. So it's going to be based on from when. I imagine
and I'm saying it for the first time here.
Just write your fiction. Do your movie.
Is aftermath. Lockdown has ended now.
Oh, okay. Yes. So the aftermath of you now.
Yes.
We
need to explore that part. What happened after? See lockdown till law.
Maybe any character name here.
At Susie.
How did Stab do? Stab was supposed to be. Stab is a fantastic movie.
Yes.
And Stab is different. Different from Tenitika, different from Morisha, different from Knockdown, different from all the other movies. Stab is in a class on its own.
Yes.
What happened to Stab?
Okay, Stab didn't make much for me. In fact, I didn't make up to half of the money I invested in Stab up until date. It's been submitted to Africa Magic. Hopefully they take it. But even when they take it or buy it, I'm sure that they can't buy it up to the money I invested in it.
So you invested heavily on Stab?
Yes, maybe not too heavily, but heavily. So, an investment that is running into millions in Nigeria is heavy.
Yeah.
So
if anyone wants to shoot a movie now, we're talking about millions. So we can't shoot a movie with 700K, 500K.
You can shoot a movie with 500K, 700K. In fact, you can shoot a movie without any money.
How? Shining by camera and shining some casting.
The thing is, we used to call something low budget movie. There are some low budget movie. There are some no budget. No budget movie.
No budget. Okay.
No budget is where you have volunteers. Like that was Michael Adejon woman no budget. But no budget does not mean that you will still not spend. At least logistics. Sometimes sometimes you want to feed people, but no budget. There's at the end of the day, there's nothing called no budget. You still have to spend money, but there are low budget movies where you won't spend much. But I used to say that movies, the budget to spend on movies depends on, for me, it depends on the kind of equipment you want to use. These days, you need to use sophisticated equipment if you really want to get the best of pictures, and sound. The kind of actors you want to use, the kind of story, the setting, all those things are the ones that will determine how much you're spending. how much you're going to spend on that project. So I feel they are still shooting with all those small monies. But me, even if I'm going to shoot a movie that is just 2 people in that movie, I want to have enough money so that nobody will go home feeling bad that they do not have something in their pocket. Yes. So I try to produce in millions to the glory of God. Now, Sha.
Okay.
And
similarly, Adio says Stab is my best, and John Afolabi says Stab is the best so far. So let's hope African Magic takes Stab, and let's hope it gets shown on African Magic soon. Okay, now
I'm coming up with a sequel of Stab too, actually.
Okay.
A sequel of Stab.
So what informed your decision to now shoot heavily? What's the title of that movie again?
Flatus.
The cinema movie. Flatus. So what influenced you to? Because you told me at that time that you spent over 3 million naira or 8 million.
At the end of the day, I spent about 8 million plus.
8 million plus on a movie. And you're still hoping it's still in the cinemas, right? Or it's out of cinema?
No, it's left the cinemas.
Okay, so where is it heading now? Is it Netflix or where?
Yeah, Netflix, Amazon, whichever one comes first.
Okay. On Flatus, you had Bimbo Ademoye, fantastic actress. You had Macaroni. You had BU. And what's more here?
Yes.
Because actually, I'm hoping to come to Netflix so that I can see.
I had Auntie Ayomogaji, Akin Lewis.
Okay.
I had myself too.
So it's about the first time you'll be having this A-list artists in your movie, in numbers. But why you didn't put you didn't add a role for Ibrahim Chata and your other idol, that's Gabriel Afolayan?
Okay, the thing about these 2 people is okay. Like you said the other time, if I've produced any other culture movie after Omorisha, and I said Omorisha. No. There is a story I am currently writing. It's culture, and Ibrahim Chata is one. It's just like I'm saving something for the best.
Okay.
Saving Kiniko for the best. So the 2 of them are not just, for me, I don't feel they are actors I should feature anyhow.
Okay.
I want to feature them when the time is right, in the right stories.
Okay.
That's just it for me. It doesn't mean that I can't reach out to them or I can't reach them. And of course, I have to consider their pace too, because these are hot actors. And I don't want to do you're my role model, please take this change from me.
Okay. Just before we get into the personal aspect of our chats, I want to know, do you still work with Rear Edge? Do you have issues with Rear Edge? Or did you at the time have issues with Rear Edge Productions?
I still work with Rear Edge. In fact, we just finished shooting our Lado Day. We just finished filming some episodes of our Lado Day. And I didn't really have much to do in that episode, in this series, in the new ones.
So you have lesser roles.
Yeah, I had lesser episodes.
Why? Because a lot of people watch Awalado because of Segbowe.
Well, I don't know. I really can't say.
Are there issues?
Well, there were, but for me, life goes on. But we're still working together.
Okay. You are very busy. compared to last year or even 2 years ago, you work on other people's projects.
Yes.
So how much do you charge? How much do you charge for a movie role?
Well, it depends. But this year I've taken 300. It depends, Sha. It depends on the roles.
You remember one time you came to me when I was at Licity. I think this should be, was it last year or no, can't be last year because I left Licity 2020. Maybe it's 2020. He said, àwọn kan wọ́n pè mí sí ibì kan ní ọ̀nà, what's the name? Ọ̀nà Luyin yẹn, ọ̀nà Ìwó. Tẹ́tí máa ń yaṣẹ́. They offered you alone that 25. So when I walk with me, King Ba 25. I was like, but now she want to be more senior. But it seems me, I don't. How much do you remember this particular job?
I remember.
Do you remember? Eloni, how much was it?
It was 30,000.
30,000. So anybody will be 30,000. I'm gonna say.
Okudele, ìyá mi lórí iṣẹ́ yẹn.
30,000 yẹn àbí.
Orí mọ́tò mo ná 30,000 sí, mo tún ná jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ.
Wọ́n á fi mọ̀ ẹ́ náà ni.
Mo ti jìyà ó ti tó. Ọ̀rọ̀ ló kù.
Okay. All right. Now let's get to the personal parts before I let you go because I'm really taking your time. I actually had a gazette of 2 hours to spend with you this evening. I'm expecting messages from home, or likes, loves, shares, and all that. So let it happen. Similar in Toby Adio, Oreni. Well, you get there too. John Afolabino Oreni. Now, personal. Some people believe you ignore messages. Segbowe wo. What's the big man? The message kò respond. Have you now gone arrogant? More because you are not the Akinola, not even Segbowe. The Akinola that me I know is not is very humble. But now, maybe you are too busy. Maybe it comes with when you ride a big car, when you mingle with big guns in the entertainment world, you tend to become big. So, you don't want to. I might do something called the message. I never when you're comparing MB. One of your program, me need that request. But I'm about to come back. Any other program, ó dẹ̀ fi nọ́mbà ẹ̀ síta táwọn ìbá wa pè á ní ẹ wo mo ṣe program tán ni mo fẹ́ sinmi nígbà tó ọgbọ́n fẹ́ sinmi o bá ti má fi nọ́mbà ẹ̀ síta àbí kò pa fóònù. So I want your response, your reaction, and your defense on that.
Okay, well, I try as much as possible to respond to messages. I try, but the thing is, we all have 24 hours. Nobody has more than 24 hours. Kò sẹ́ni tí Ọlọ́run fi hours kún déètì ẹ̀ pé ìwọ déètì ẹ̀ o 27 ló máa jẹ́ o àbí 30 ló máa jẹ́. And we have a lot of platforms now where we put ourselves out there, put our works out there. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have Twitter, we have WhatsApp, we have TikTok. We have all these platforms. We have text messages to respond to. We have calls to respond to. We are humans, just like every other person. When I was coming up, I don't know if I've shared this with you before. In 2013, the whole of 2013, I was writing on Kumuyiwa Ademola. He's actually one of my role models, actually. I forgot to mention him. He's actually one of someone I used to watch his works from the days of Ori, Malakpadupe, Ugo Shupa and all that. I used to write him. And up until last year, he never saw them. In fact, I was the one who told him. And right there, he opened his phone and responded to me that I met you a star. I am happy that I met you as a star, Akinola. Thank you.
I met you a star.
I met you as a star. The message is still on my phone. So he responded to me right on that spot because we were going to act together. In fact, when I started, I started producing. I have written him. I still wrote him then. Then we already have Instagram. I wrote him on Instagram. He never saw them. And sometimes it is like that. Like right now on my WhatsApp, I have close to 1,000 unread messages. Like we've been talking for the past 1 hour 30 minutes now. Messages kept coming in on my WhatsApp. Like they've been coming in. In fact, just now, Instagram messages are coming in. By the time I'm done, I want to go into the room now, into the house now. My wife has already prepared food. In fact, she is one of those that messaged me like, "Food is ready. I'm waiting." And I actually came into the car because I don't want you to start. I don't want sounds to be disturbing. TV, food preparing, and all that. That's why I came into the car. So she's already telling me food is ready, so that I can come and eat. She doesn't know what I'm doing yet. So by the time I'm done here, I want to go and eat. I want to attend to my family, and maybe before tomorrow, before I sleep, I'll definitely attend to some of these messages. And
but not
before
all,
tomorrow,
definitely.
not all. So before tomorrow, some have already come in. And then sometimes when people, some of my close friends who know me very well, they see that, okay, if I've sent a message to Akinola like an hour ago and he's not responding, sometimes they just send dots so that their messages can come up.
Okay.
So by the time it comes up, I'll open it and I'll apologize. Oh, I'm sorry, I just saw this now. In fact, sometimes my mom will call me and then she will tell me, calls phone because I'm going to call back. It might be the following day that I will call back. Some I call immediately when I see it. See, I will miss calls or phone.
Okay.
In fact, this one that we're doing now is not on my main line. My main line is upstairs. I'm sure by the time I get upstairs, there will be missed calls on it. So sometimes it is like that for us. Before we answer text messages, WhatsApp, Instagram, but I try my best to respond. And most of the time where I respond is Instagram, WhatsApp. Facebook, most of the time, people think I am on Facebook, but I am not. It is what I post on Instagram that is shared on Facebook. Okay. Yes, because Facebook, for me, has been bastardized by even the owners of Facebook. Facebook still has a lot of followership. But why? Because there are these generated responses, messages. You will see, sometimes I open my inbox and I see, are you available to chat? Like 100 people sent, are you available to chat? Are you available to chat? Are you available to chat? I can't respond to, are you available to chat? Will I be saying yes to like 100 men? But people don't know. They feel they are the only ones sending that message at that time. And then I used to advise people, especially upcomings who message me. Some of these people come to my DM, they message me, and I'm sure that's how they do to other people. And that's the way other people feel. You message me and you say, what's up? What's up is not a formal courtesy for me.
Especially for somebody you have never met or you don't even know closely.
Yes. Some will come and say alpha. I understand that some of these people are sending messages because of the Segbowe that they are seeing. But this is Akinola you are sending messages to. Akinola is different from Segbowe. And then some people who actually want to be a part of my project come and say, bros, I can act. What I do with those people, I immediately click on their profile. And I get to your profile, I see that you are doing like this. Fuck haters. Where is the evidence that you can act? I should see.
You should have like short clips, 30 seconds of a monologue or something like that.
From there, I will be like, okay, I think this person can. I will notice you. I will respond. Because I see that you're passionate about it. It's already on your page. But I see on your page, you don't even have any picture. You don't even have a profile picture. Some have zero picture. They don't have anything. Some have Oyibo names. You're telling me, bros, Segbowe Alpha, I can act. And I see Michael Stone, Kinikon Stone. You are using Oyibo in all your profile. How will I take you serious? I won't. I'll just move on to the next message.
All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Timila Itobe Adio says he doesn't ignore messages, so I hope to work with him one day. And Prof. Debo Older, I greet you, so I salute you. He says Segbowe is a very humble and a classical example of class, panache, and style. That's a big one there from Prof. Debo Older. Yeah.
Thank you.
He's watching us right now, Mr. Debo Older.
Thank you
the
so
next
much.
Question.
He's a great fan.
Segbowe, why did you choose to marry secretly? Was it because you didn't want to break more ladies' hearts? You don't want to.
I eventually did, no. Because
is she somebody?
No, that wasn't the reason actually. The reason being that I'm a very, other than I like to keep my personal life. When I was coming downstairs into the car, my wife was telling me, fẹ́ kàn rí inú ilé ẹ̀, fẹ́ kàn rí inú ilé ẹ̀ ló ṣe lọ sínú mọ́tò, ló ṣe fẹ́ lọ ṣe nínú mọ́tò. But because she knows that I'm a very private person. I only want to put out there my works. Just my works. I don't want anything that would jump at me because of my profession. I don't want it to jump at my relatives. I don't want anyone to see my siblings on the streets and be like, alaye, abo Segbowe ni egbo lowe.
Billing better, yeah.
Yeah, so I just want I want people to see me for my works, for what I put out there, for the impact I'm trying to make. So I'm quite private. So that's the reason.
Segbowe, you are a fine boy. You are a fine man. Handsome, fresh, yellow, and all that. Can you swear that you are faithful, loyal, and honest to your wife?
I am faithful, loyal, and honest to my wife. And honest to my wife. Honest. Honest.
Have you changed? Because Amorawa Tabarirawa.
Well, they used to say something. Bashon go day.
So
well, that's Lord Jesus. But the thing is, one just has to, our work puts us out there a lot. So there are a lot of crushes. Hey, I crush on you. Hey, this, that. Even the ones, sometimes we receive some unscrupulous messages that you will open and you'll be like, kileni sendi. You understand? We're just trying our best. And I pray God helps us.
So do you think, or are you saying that you feel strongly that having a side chick is a crime?
It's not a crime, but it is not being. I can't categorically say it's a crime, but it is just not being faithful. Crime is different from not being faithful. Ọlọ́pàá mú yàn sí side chick. So ẹlẹ́dàá èèyàn máa ń mú yàn. Ìṣẹ̀dá, yeah. So I would say it's a crime. Oníkálukú ní choice it's here, but it is just not godly. It's a sin.
The last question for you, Segbowe.
Okay, sir.
With the current situation, I know you are doing well. At least I know you are doing very well. With the current situation of this country, if you have an opportunity to japa, like the likes of Bayo Bankole, we have lots of actors who are in Yankee, Jand, that are there, building a future for themselves. We have lots of musicians who are already in Canada, America, UK, Ireland, and all that have found a future for themselves. So if you have this opportunity, No, not the opportunity. Are you team Nigeria or team Jackpa? If you have, if with the current situation, do you think you have to Jackpa one day?
Okay. Let me share this experience. My investment on Flatus in October, in around July last year, I got an invite to go to the UK, and it was at that time I was putting money together for Flatus.
Okay.
So, and I had the money for Flatus, but I decided to turn down that offer for Flatus. It sounded crazy to some of my friends. They were like, one for production share ni, one for kiniko share ni. Opportunity.
Now, were you supposed to leave permanently? Were you supposed to leave the country permanently?
No, not permanently, but it could have led to that.
Okay.
It could have led to that. But I didn't go. I'm here. But at some point, especially when there was this fuel scarcity this year, I was really, really frustrated about the whole situation. And I remember that I told my friend, and I said, Omo, o ṣe mi bí kí n fi country sílẹ̀. Ó ní, Akínọlá, lẹ́nu ẹ̀. Ìwọ tó jẹ́ pé ó máa ń sọ pé kí ló ń wá káàkiri, kí ló ń ṣe kinní kan tí olóyìnbó kì í freak ẹ̀. Ló wá sọ pé ó fẹ́ lọ, ó fẹ́ jápa, ó fẹ́ lọ kinní kan. I said, no, okay, look at the situation. So, ní wo tènìyàn, I'm being sincere now. I love my country. In fact, my kind of work, I feel this is the place where I can carve a niche for myself. But, okay, I've produced about 7 movies now. How much have I made? How much are my mates making over there when they produce? So these are the things that I would consider. But then, if I have the opportunity to go, I will go. But mi ò ní sọ lẹ́nu.
All right, so that's wise of you. That's intelligent of you, and I really appreciate you. Akinola Akonwo, Emmanuel,
Yes.
Thank you so much for being part of. You are the first guests on this Facebook broadcast.
I'm on board.
I appreciate you for always being there for me. Mo rántí nígbà táwọn òdìdí nìkan pè mí ní station kan báyìí náà tó ní pé kí n máa bọ̀ kí n máa bá wọn ṣe. It was you I quickly ran through pé jọ tí wọ́n gbà mí o. So I appreciate it and I won't take it for granted. Prof. Debo Alda sends a message now. Agbaleto, I appreciate you for featuring Segbowe on this show tonight. I know your voice had a cameo appearance in his movie, Lockdown, and I know you appreciate his works too. I think he is underrated because I know he's one of the best in his trade. His frame, poise, and education put him some notches above his contemporary. I was glad I had the chance of appreciating him in his presence.
Thank
you, Prof.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Alda. Eshigoni, Prof. So, mi ní jẹ́ olùlọ tó bá ṣe Segbowe díẹ̀ fún mi. Fáwọn tó ń wò wá nílé.
Kí lẹ wá fẹ́ kí n ṣe báyìí o? Sẹ́ẹ̀ni mo wá kí n tó ṣe nǹkan kan báyìí.
I'm looking, I don't know, I'm looking at having a set. I'm not going to have it. Maybe it's going to happen somehow. Having you and Bimbo Ademoye acting opposite each other as foolish people. Pardon me. Foolish people. Segbowe, Oko, Bimbo Ademoye, Yawo, Ameji won gbadun. That lady is not from this planet. That lady cracks me. In fact, I mean, you say, Professor Bimbo Ademoye. I don't know. I've never met her, but I've seen a lot of her movies, and I give it to her. She's good. Yeah. She's good. Fantastic. She's good.
Yes.
Ola Ogunwale Akashoro. I want to Petals FM. When I love this program so much. Keep it up. There she go. Be next week. Loma Tujeta Matubi Alijomiwa. But I want to thank you. I want to appreciate you. Akinola Akonwo Segbowe. Thanks for coming. Thanks for your time. Kilo. Ṣé ndarúkọ ìyàwó àbí kò kí má dà?
O ní dìmá kíyàwó mi.
Bami ki L. Bami ki o. All right. Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right, thanks. You. Okay, kò jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ní ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí o lórí up close and personal. Agbaman up close and personal. And my first guest this evening has been Akinola Segbowe. I hope to be back again next week with another guest. I don't know who it's going to be. Maybe a music artist. I don't know. Maybe by a daddy. No, but definitely I hope to be back either Saturday or Sunday. John Afolabi, thank you so much for being part of this production. You are here and you are there. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Timilei Tobiatio, I appreciate you. But do well for me to share this production, this program. I hope that soon we're going to have more views when we come around. Limited views. Just do well to share for me and all that. Thank you so much for your time. Just call me Agbaman, and that's my name. Until next week, when I announce my next guest on the time, be good.